Hi everyone! So I decided to create this mirror that you can see in my living room. I went ahead and bought a 4x8 plywood, 3/4 inch thick. Then I bought the Ikea 1x1 mirrors, and then the longitudinal woods. I was playing around with the thickness. I wasn't sure what I wanted. I ended up going with 1.5 inch width by 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch depth. I'll put the information in the description. I went ahead to Home Depot, had them cut the longer pieces for me. I did all the math. There's a lot of math that you got to do here, and you still can get it wrong, believe me. That's fine. Then I came back home. I assembled everything again to kind of see how it looked with the width of the longitudinal pieces that I had bought. I still had to cut the smaller pieces, so I went ahead and decided to buy a circular saw because I want to start doing my own furniture, or at least something like that. So I went ahead and started cutting the smaller pieces, and it's really not exact with this machine because you cannot see where the line that the mark that you did is at, so still have to work on that part. So after that, I primed my piece of wood. I ended up going back to Home Depot and just having them cut the smaller pieces for me because their machine is more pro and they know what they're doing. So then I came back home, put everything together, I glued it. But a big mistake that I did, I wanted the space between each mirror and the wood to be so small that I left it way too tight. So once I primed it, then I came back to put the mirrors in, they wouldn't fit. So I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do now? If I end up painting it black, then it's gonna be a thicker amount of film in it. So I ended up having to use an X-Acto knife to actually, make some changes. I tried to use a sander, but it wasn't working well. So after a long time of trying to figure this out, it took me about a whole weekend. Actually, I started Friday night and I ended it Sunday night, final touches, and then Monday it was all ready to go. I sprayed it. I can put the information for the spray that I use. And then I ended up using paint on the back side and then realized the paint was different from the spray. So I had to tape it up again and put the same paint in the front. So, little things here and there don't seem that perfect, but it is exactly what I wanted. And I am super happy with what I did.